Hello, my name is Jose Alejos, and I've been a resident of Calexico for the past 27 years. And honestly, I plan on being a resident for the next 50 years, maybe. I grew up in Espichoneras, and being somebody who had no family from here, or no family who was connected to City Hall, Calexico politics, I kind of felt left out. And ever since then, I've had this chip on my shoulder towards the city. But in the past couple of months, I came to a realization that I can't be mad and expect to change the path our city is going by sitting at home and doing nothing. And I'm not going to take all of the credit for this podcast. I did have a friend who approached me, and even though I had this idea in my head for a while, he kind of legitimized the need for this podcast. The other person who I wanted to mention was Gil Revelar, because he was the one who planted this seed not only in me, but in my other friend who approached me about this podcast. For the few who don't know who Gil is the host of the Small Town News podcast. Gil does an amazing job at informing not only his city, Brawley, but the county of things that are going on, in politics. Okay, so going back to this podcast. I was thinking of calling this podcast Pasa Calexico. The reason behind this name is because there are times when I will be directing the question to you, the citizens of Calexico. For example, during November we had an election, and only 1,000 out of the 40,000 citizens of Calexico came out to vote. So, ¿Qué pasa, Calexico? See how I use this to address you, the citizens? But I really do hope that this podcast is more of an informative podcast where we have guests who can share valuable information about what's going on in our city. And maybe once you are armed with this knowledge, this information, it will inspire you to do something about what's going on in our city. I am also planning on using social media. Facebook, Twitter, even the comments on some of the videos, and email. You can find us on Twitter at Que Pasa Calexico, and you can send us an email at quepasacalexico@gmail.com. And my hope is that I could use some of your questions to ask our guests, and I also plan on using social media to let you guys know who our guests will be that week. But the main objective of this podcast will be to bring you honest and unbiased information that you can listen while you cook, while you drive, while you exercise. So please share this video and this audio with your friends, because we're in a time when knowing the facts is really important. We won't be able to change our national government, but we can surely make a dent in our local government. And I hope with this podcast, I can give you the knowledge and the courage to get involved and help out your city head in the right direction. Because our city has a lot of potential, and for some reason, we're not taking advantage of it. So please stay tuned for the first episode. Thank you.